I haven't directly suffered from any various stereotypes, apart from probably working class, and obviously you can tell from my accent. Quite a lot of people pick up on that from where I live and where I come from. I possibly, all I can remember is when I went for an interview at a certain university, and they asked about my family background, where I came from, money situation. That made me feel quite uncomfortable.
I think that poverty and discrimination, prejudice and lack of understanding cause a lot of issues in our society. With so few people owning and controlling the majority of the wealth in the world, I think that leads to people wanting or wanting more but not able to access it. And I always think of something that Buddha said, which was that the cause of all suffering is want. So if we can get rid of want, we can get rid of all suffering. So it's how do we work together as one planet to achieve the goal of making everybody educated, well-fed, free from war, free from poverty. I think that's the ultimate goal for humans.
So to improve things, like I work in the Ahmedik Balola Race Relations Centre, and we have books about race, and a lot of it I think educates the public, like we're part of the university, but it's good that we're based in Central Library, just so like regular people can go and have a look at the books and the collections and the transcriptions, so they can learn more. So I think education is a big factor.
So, where do you believe hatred for a person, idea or organisation stems from?
So I think a lot of it comes from ignorance. I think not being surrounded by people of different nationalities, heritage and stuff, I think a lot of that does breed discrimination and it breeds a lot of like hatred. Like I think the media sometimes does push that as well. And I think sort of like parents push that on their kids a lot of the times.
I was going to say, I think a lot of it is taught as well. Racist terms and racist words are usually passed down through elders in the family, especially the older generation, just say it without thinking, and the kids just pick it up, and then before you know it, they're adults and they're repeating the same offensive words without thinking that it actually offends people.
It's really true.
Yeah.
In terms of like organisation, I think with universities, there's obviously a big sort of like barrier for a lot of people of colour as well. Like when I went to university, most people in my class were white people, and it was funny because people of colour just found each other and we all sat together all the time. And I think that made us feel, well, it made me feel like I didn't belong there all the time, because it's like I'm not in the majority of university.
But when you found like people like of similar backgrounds to yourself, did you feel a bit more included?
Yeah, because then we could openly talk about like what can be done about getting more and more people of colour in.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at past and current events, do you believe society is better, worse or the same?
I think like you were saying earlier, it's good in some ways, bad in some ways. Like I think obviously now, like legally, there's a lot of stuff put in place now to like get people of colour involved in more like careers, organisation, jobs and stuff. But I don't know if like they're doing it in a good way or bad way though, because like they have like policies where they sort of will want people interviewed or people in who are of colour, but then a lot of the times it's in roles that are not senior, or they're like quite low roles.
It's usually like middle of the ground roles, or they tend to just bring somebody from a different minority group in for the interview process as like ticking a box, and then just from speaking from family experience, they usually don't get the job. It's usually somebody else from like a white British background or something, especially in like area of education and stuff like that. So yeah, in some ways it's good because there is policies, and a lot of institutions do have good policy, like the University of Manchester has a really good policy in social inclusion, and to try and reach out to the wider community. But I don't know if it's just put into practice enough by staff and by people in high positions. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, would you help someone in need? If yes, then how come on several occasions certain people avoid the homeless charities, or others in need of help? Why do you think they avoid them?
I think it's a mixture of things, really. I think people don't like to face, because it's a big issue in Manchester in particular. I think people don't want to face that as an issue. I think they're just like, well, they've got support from charities, but it's just like ignorance, obviously, because like they do need support. I mean, like I give food all the time to homeless people. Like I don't give them money, but I give them food all the time. And like I never really thought, oh well, they have support from so and so, so I shouldn't do it. I just did it. I think a lot of it is just
It's just having that empathy for somebody else, isn't it? That's whatever situation is not, not got anywhere to live, or it's just not judging them for why they're in that position, and not just making your own assumptions. As, they're on drugs or whatever, because we don't know why they're in that position, and just seeing them as another human. So. Because everyone's like 3 steps away from like becoming homeless anyway and being in that position. It's so easy to become homeless these days. So easy. Yeah. So, I'll ask this one to myself. So statistically, as a person of colour or as a female, so you're likely to be discriminated against. So how does that make you feel, or me feel? So, yeah, it makes me feel a bit annoyed because, like in this day and age, we're all seen as equals, whether you're male or female, and women like are doing so much good work nowadays, and they're running big companies and in high positions in like very well-known organisations like NHS. So why does discrimination still happen? Why do we have like gender pay gaps and stuff like that? We shouldn't be having that just because we're female. And also in terms of like racial abuse, I think there's this culture where females from like different minority backgrounds are seen as submissive and like almost meek. So maybe people just think that they can target a female, from whatever background, because they won't retaliate or they won't come back with a, an almost an argument, because they're just seen as submissive and quiet people, and maybe that's why they're targeted. But yeah, it does make me feel annoyed, and it definitely shouldn't be happening in this day and age.
Absolutely.
I think gender is something that's educated to us from such an early age, really before we're born. It's kind of coded and pre-decided for us. And so I think it's very difficult to extract what's learned and what was already there before you're ready to learn. I believe the gender is performed a lot of the time. And we've learned gender from people who've learned gender from people who've learned gender from people, so really it's very hard to trace it back.
We're not going to do both. Well,
I think we misunderstand gender. I think if you was to get 100 women in a room, there'd probably be nothing, no one thing in common between them all. Because that's what it is.
I think that I would like to not think that my color or my gender doesn't affect what I want to do. As a wannabe actress or someone who wants to go to drama school, I do feel like my color and my gender have a huge impact on whether I will get a place. Obviously it's to do with skill and talent as well, but sometimes you have schools that have to meet quotas in how many African British people they accept or how many Asian people they accept. And I think that's not fair. So I do believe there's, yeah.
Personally, no. But I think we all are to blame from whatever culture you come from. There's good and bad in every culture, so yeah, there is blame there, yeah.